Welcome to Belieflow. Tonight's story is gentle, unhurried, and here to keep you company, whether you stay awake or slowly drift off. By the time Alex turned onto their street, the day had already begun to loosen its grip. The sky was no longer bright, but not yet dark either, resting in that familiar in-between shade that softened everything it touched. Street lights hadn't fully decided to turn on. Windows still held a little of the day inside them. It was the hour when sounds grew quieter without anyone asking them to. Alex parked in the usual spot, beneath the old maple that dropped leaves more generously than it should. The engine ticked softly as it cooled, a small, dependable sound. They sat for a moment before getting out, hands resting on the steering wheel, breathing slowly, letting the stillness meet them where they were. This street had always felt steady, not remarkable, just right. The houses lined up politely, each one different in small ways, paint colors slightly faded, porches arranged with personal care, steps worn smooth by years of ordinary use. It was the kind of place where nothing much happened, and because of that, it held attention gently rather than demanding it. As Alex stepped out of the car and closed the door, they noticed the curtains. It wasn't the first time, it wasn't even unusual, but it was something their eyes always seemed to catch at this hour. One by one, almost without coordination and yet somehow together, curtains were being drawn. Not all at once, not sharply, just within the same easy stretch of minutes, as if the street shared a quiet understanding of when the day was finished. Across from Alex's house, the pale blue curtains in the corner home slid shut, moving slowly, carefully. Down the block, a pair of heavier drapes fell into place, muffling the warm light behind them. Somewhere farther along, a lamp dimmed slightly as fabric met window pane. Each movement was small, private, unremarkable on its own. Together, they felt like a single, unspoken gesture. Alex picked up her bag and started toward the front door. Gravel shifted softly underfoot. A breeze moved through the tree branches overhead, carrying the faint smell of dinner drifting from somewhere nearby. The world felt settled, as though it were exhaling after holding itself upright all gay. They paused on the front steps, keys still in hand, and looked down the street again. More curtains were closing now. A few lights flickered on behind them, then softened. Nothing felt hurried. No one seemed late. It was simply happening the way evening happens when it's allowed to arrive on its own terms. Alex had never spoken to anyone about it. There was no sign, no schedule, no announcement that this was the time when windows should be covered and the outside world gently set aside. And yet, night after night, it unfolded the same way. Calm, predictable, almost comforting in its repetition. It didn't stir concern. It didn't spark worry. If anything, it made Alex feel quietly included, as though they had arrived just in time for something everyone else already understood, like joining a familiar rhythm mid-step and finding it easy to follow. They unlocked the door and stepped inside, setting their bag down where it always went. Before closing the door behind them, they took one last look at the street. The sky had deepened slightly now, turning a softer shade of blue. Another curtain slid closed at the far end, completing something that didn't need to be named. Alex closed the door gently, already moving into the comfortable routines of the evening, carrying with them the sense that the street, like the day, was settling too, quietly, together, and right on time. Inside, the house greeted Alex in the quiet way it always did. The familiar click of the door closing sounded softer in the evening, as if the walls themselves were settling down. They placed the keys in the small ceramic dish by the entry, hearing the gentle clink that marked the official end of being out for the day. Shoes were slipped off and set neatly to the side. The floor felt cool beneath their feet, smooth and steady. Alex moved through the space without thinking much about it, guided by habits shaped over many evenings like this one. A light was turned on in the kitchen, warm and low, casting a calm glow across the counters. They filled the kettle and set it on the stove. Water murmured as it began to warm, a quiet, patient sound. Alex leaned against the counter for a moment, breathing in the stillness, listening to the house respond in small ways, pipes adjusting, wood settling, the soft hum of something electrical somewhere deeper inside. While the water heated, they changed into comfortable clothes, the kind reserved for evenings that asked for nothing more than rest. Fabric brushed lightly against skin, shoulders relaxed. The pace of the day loosened a little more. When the kettle was ready, Alex poured the water carefully into a waiting mug. Steam rose slowly, carrying a familiar scent that felt grounding and gentle. They wrapped both hands around the cup, letting the warmth travel in, unhurried, as if there was no need to rush the comfort. Standing by the window, mug in hand, Alex looked out at the street again. The view had softened since they'd come inside. Lights glowed behind curtains now, diffused and calm. Across the way, a neighbor moved through their living room, visible only for a moment before the fabric closed completely. Farther down, a porch light clicked on, then dimmed slightly, settling into its evening brightness. Nothing about it felt staged. Everyone seemed to be doing exactly what they needed to do in their own quiet ways, making dinner, warming drinks, changing clothes, closing off the day gently, piece by piece. Alex took a slow sip and stayed there for a while, watching the street ease into itself. The world outside felt muffled now, like sound wrapped in cloth. Inside, the house held steady, warm and familiar. It felt like the right moment to simply notice, to let small routines do what they always did, and to remain still long enough to see what else the evening might quietly reveal. From the window, the street no longer felt like a row of separate houses. It began to look more like a gentle pattern, repeating itself in small, comforting ways. Alex stood quietly, mug warming their hands, and let their attention drift without effort from one home to the next. A lamp clicked on in the house with the narrow porch, casting a soft circle of light that stayed close to the window. Just beyond it, a shadow passed across a wall, slow and familiar, the shape of someone moving through their evening without urgency. Farther along, a television glow flickered briefly, then settled into a steady, muted presence. The curtains continued to close, not in a rush, not all at once. One window after another softened as fabric met glass. Some were drawn carefully, stopping just short before being adjusted again. Others slid into place in a single smooth motion. Each closing felt personal, and yet part of something shared. Alex noticed how evenly it happened, not synchronized in a precise way, but close enough to feel intentional, like neighbors turning pages in different books at roughly the same time. The street seemed to breathe in this slow rhythm, light dimming here, shadows deepening there. The sounds outside had grown quieter too. An engine passed at the far end and faded quickly. A door closed somewhere nearby, followed by the gentle click of a lock. Then stillness returned, not empty, but full in a soft, reassuring way. Standing there, Alex felt less like an observer and more like a participant, even without moving. The pattern didn't demand attention, it simply invited noticing. a shared habit repeated so often it no longer needed explanation. They took another slow sip and remained by the window, allowing their eyes to follow the familiar sequence as it continued. And somewhere in that quiet repetition, a gentle curiosity began to form, not sharp or pressing, just present, resting comfortably alongside the calm of the evening. Alex couldn't quite remember the first time they noticed the pattern. It hadn't announced itself. No single evening stood out as the beginning. It was more like realizing you've been humming a tune for a while and only just becoming aware of it. At some point during one of these ordinary evenings, the timing had caught their attention. Not in a sharp way, just a quiet thought drifting through. That's happening again. Curtains closing, lights softening, the street easing inward, almost together. What struck Alex most was how natural it felt. There were no signals, no shared clocks that anyone could see, and yet, night after night, the same gentle window of time seemed to arrive, and everyone responded to it in their own way, as if the street itself offered a subtle cue and each house understood without needing to be told. Alex rested against the window frame, feeling the faint coolness of the glass through the mug. Outside, the last open windows were narrowing, one by one, until only a few remained. The air felt settled, heavier in a comforting way, like a blanket being pulled just high enough. They wondered softly what guided it. Not a rule, not an agreement, perhaps just habit layered upon habit, built slowly over years of evenings ending the same way. People learning when it felt right to close things in, to draw a boundary between the day and the night. The thought didn't ask for an answer, it simply stayed there, gentle and unhurried. Alex took another sip, feeling the warmth steady them, and let their curiosity rest alongside the quiet. The street seemed content to keep its rhythm, and for now, that felt like enough. After a while, Alex set the mug down and reached for their jacket. The decision didn't feel deliberate. It was something they did most evenings, especially when the air outside had that cool, settled feeling to it. A short walk, nothing more, just enough to let the day finish leaving their body. Stepping back onto the street, the temperature felt fresh against their skin, gentle and steady. The pavement held the day's warmth faintly, releasing it with each slow step. Alex walked without hurry, hands in their pockets, breath falling into an easy rhythm. As they moved along the block, curtains continued to close ahead of them. A window would glow softly for a moment, then dim as fabric slid into place. Another followed, then another. Each closing felt less like something being shut out and more like something being cared for. Footsteps sounded quiet here. Even the street seemed to listen. A porch light cast a wide, welcoming circle on the sidewalk. Somewhere nearby, a radio played low enough to blend into the evening rather than interrupt it. Alex passed familiar houses, each one offering the same gentle message. We're in for the night. Not hidden, not unreachable, just settled. The feeling was reassuring, as if the street itself were drawing a loose boundary around everyone who belonged to it. The walk didn't need a destination. Alex slowed near the end of the block, turning back before the street gave way to something less familiar. As they retraced their steps, the quiet held, and the sense of shared routine followed with them, ready to carry gently into whatever small moments came next. As Alex continued along the street, a soft sound reached them, a door closing somewhere nearby, followed by the gentle click of a lock. It wasn't loud or startling, just a small punctuation in the evening, a quiet acknowledgement that someone else was finishing their day in their own way. A few steps later, a neighbor appeared at their doorway, a familiar face from years of passing nods and polite smiles. They exchanged a gentle wave and a whispered, "Good evening," which felt more like a shared understanding than a conversation. No one needed to explain anything about the rhythm of the street. Everyone already seemed to know their part. Further along, the soft shuffle of someone carrying a small bag down their porch steps blended into the hush of the night. A distant laugh, barely more than a breath, rose from another house and faded into the calm. Each sound felt deliberate in its simplicity, a quiet acknowledgement of presence without intrusion. Alex realized with a soft warmth how comforting it was to notice these small human gestures. Each one added to a sense of belonging, a quiet reassurance that though everyone moved through their routines separately, they were all part of the same evening. The rhythm of the street carried on around them, steady and familiar, folding these tiny interactions into the larger quiet of the night, as if the street itself were a living thing, aware of its residents and their gentle habits. As Alex walked slowly back toward their own front door, they began to notice something that felt almost like a quiet music in the way the street moved. It wasn't about keeping the world out or shutting things away. The curtain ritual had a different purpose entirely. It was about timing, about pausing together without speaking a word. One by one, windows softened as fabric met glass. Lamps glowed a little warmer for a moment, then dimmed. Shadows shifted across walls. Alex realized the movement had a rhythm, a gentle cadence, like a familiar melody that returned every evening, unchanging but comforting. The repetition of it, night after night, carried a kind of reassurance. It didn't need a reason, it didn't need a story. Just watching it unfold created a quiet sense of being part of something larger, a shared understanding woven into the everyday. The pause at the end of the day wasn't forced, it was offered freely by everyone on the street, and Alex felt that gentle invitation without needing to claim it. Standing there, shoulders relaxed, mug in hand, they let the rhythm sink in. Each closing curtain, each soft light dimming, blended together into a pattern that felt safe, familiar, and tender. It was a subtle connection, almost invisible and yet entirely present. With that sense of shared pause resting lightly over the street, Alex stepped inside again, letting the calm of this quiet rhythm accompany them as the evening continued to settle. As Alex lingered by the window, the thought came softly, without urgency. Perhaps this rhythm of curtains closing wasn't about schedules or rules at all. Perhaps it was something older, something shaped by the quiet agreement of the people who had lived here long before them. It felt as though, long ago, the street had quietly decided on this shared pause. No announcements, no meetings, no notes left on doors, just an unspoken understanding that at this hour it was time to unwind, to step back from the day and allow stillness to arrive. Alex watched the final curtains slide into place one after another and felt the meaning settle gently around them. It wasn't about hiding from the world. It was about presence without pressure, care without words. Each closed window was like a tiny gesture saying, "You are not alone in ending your day." The warmth of that realization spread slowly, a soft comfort rather than a revelation. It made the street feel protective, kind, and familiar. Alex rested against the frame, letting the sense of quiet generosity linger, as if the houses themselves were breathing alongside them. and with that gentle understanding, they felt ready to continue into the evening, carrying the calm reassurance of this unspoken kindness with them as the night deepened. Alex stepped back inside, closing the door softly behind them. The familiar click sounded smaller somehow, cushioned by the quiet of the evening. They moved to the window and drew their own curtains, the fabric sliding into place with a gentle ease. It was the same motion they had observed on the street for years, now part of their own evening rhythm. As the room darkened, it felt as though the space wrapped around them, a soft cocoon that separated the inside from the world outside. The familiar warmth of the walls, the steady hum of the house, and the muted glow of a single lamp made the room feel private yet connected to everything beyond its edges. Looking out for a moment, Alex could see the street settling into rest. Lights dimmed, shadows deepened, the final curtains closed along the block, one by one, and the gentle cadence of the evening continued uninterrupted. It felt shared, though no one had said a word. A collective exhale, quiet and unspoken, stretched down the line of houses. Alex sank into the comfort of being home, part of the same rhythm, participating without effort. Each small gesture, the curtains, the lights, the slow movement of the evening, was a reminder of belonging, of routine, and of the calm that comes from knowing others are moving through the night in gentle synchrony. With the room tucked around them, the street at peace outside, Alex allowed themselves to move slowly toward the next quiet moments of the evening, carrying the warmth of shared calm into the rest of their night. The street grew quieter with each passing moment. Footsteps faded, doors clicked softly for the last time, and even the faint hum of distant traffic seemed to slow and soften. The sky above deepened into a rich, calm blue, stretching from horizon to horizon, dotted with the earliest stars, patient and unhurried. Alex stood by the window for a moment, noticing how peaceful it felt to witness this gentle settling. Each house seemed to breathe in sync, lights dimming, curtains drawn, small acts of care completed without thought or announcement. It wasn't just that the street was quiet, it was that the quiet felt shared, a collective pause that included them too. There was comfort in knowing that others were nearby, moving through the same small rituals, embracing the evening with the same quiet attention. The world beyond the windows had slowed, and within each home, familiar patterns held sway, giving shape and rhythm to the night. Alex allowed themselves to rest in the sense of connection, letting the soft harmony of the street wrap around them. The night had arrived fully now, steady and patient, holding everything in gentle balance, and they felt, quietly and without effort, part of it all. Alex moved slowly through the last moments of the evening, letting the familiar routines carry them forward. The lamp by the bedside cast a warm, gentle glow, and the soft rustle of fabric as they changed into night clothes was almost a part of the quiet rhythm outside. Each small act, brushing teeth, arranging pillows, pulling the covers just so, felt steady, grounding, and unhurried. They paused for a moment, listening to the street beyond their window. Even now, behind the closed curtains, the sense of shared calm lingered. It was subtle, almost invisible, yet entirely present. The neighbors, each in their own homes, had completed the same gentle steps. No one had announced it, no one had spoken of it, yet the pattern held meaning all the same. Alex thought about how comforting it was that some things didn't need words to matter. The repetition of quiet gestures, the steady flow of evening routines, the unspoken rhythm of the street, these were the comforts that could be trusted over and over again without explanation. With that gentle understanding, they laid back, feeling the weight of the day ease away. The room was warm, the night outside deepened, and the shared hush of the street seemed to settle around them. In that soft, unspoken harmony, rest came naturally, carrying Alex into sleep with a quiet sense of belonging, ease, and peace. And so the night continues quietly, wishing you a peaceful rest whenever sleep arrives.